to give some recap of last week. I know that a lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff affected a lot of different people. Some of it's secret stuff. Some of it people may have started to figure out. What I will say is that you guys have made a serious amount of loot after doing some mining. You have brought some wayward kobolds back to town and basically gotten them a gig, and the town seems to be okay with it. You have started to become recognized as local traveling heroes. As a local dwarf named Gimbal kind of recognized you guys and came up and started to have a chat. And you also happen to notice some weirdo start chanting something about ice and snow and cold and death with, I believe I said, striking cold ice blue eyes. Um, and
Oi, but that's nothing. I've got this lovely satchel.
and then we've got Captain Satchel. That's happening.
I need to get to Bridgender ASAP.
Novakri said she has to get to Brinchander.
ASAP, 100 gold.
Yes. Because it's the same day that you woke up and you had that sort of like crazy heart palpitation, chest squiggly feeling. You're still suffering the effects, but the actual pain of it has stopped being as maybe blinding as it was when you first woke up. You actually get the feeling. You know what, Novakri, give me a wisdom check or a wisdom save, whatever would work better for you. Sorry, I wasn't on the screen. I got to go back to it. 15. You get the feeling like it feels like it's starting to subside, like almost like you had some bad gas. And with a 15, I'd say that you feel like after a good night's rest, you might actually feel better. But this was definitely like a wake up call about the reality of some shit that's going on. Anybody else? Stuff that you want to share, throw out there, do, or
So,
talk about?
when we were taking care of everything, I took it upon myself. I got all of the gems and made sure that they were split up evenly. Everyone gets 145 gold. Because we did definitely make a bunch in there.
A quick question. Did that include some of like the weird stuff that you got found too? Like, I think at some point somebody found like a small dog figurine that had like 10 gold pieces worth of tourmaline eyes or something like that. Did that include everything, or was that just from the mining?
I believe so, because I was just going based on the value. The day 1 and 3, I think I already had the numbers for. I went back and listened to 2, and I think those were mostly gems. I know we had talked about like Daryl, like finding like the golden dog or whatever it was, but I think it included all of that. I think it
Okay.
was like 10 gold. Statue was 10 gold.
Okay. No, that's fine. And in that case, perfect. That sounds great.
So
I will. I'm not going to lie.
worth
Yeah.
of whatever.
All right. So people have some loot. People have some money. So you guys are in this. So is there anything else before we kind of like dive back into that tavern scene that anybody else wants to cover or discuss?
With the splitting the stuff up, Kevin, was that just an average, or did you say like you just distributed this in gold to everyone?
That was the average. If you take 725, what we got, and just split it up, and there was a bunch where we had like 1 gold here and there, so it kind of worked. Where it's like some people might have had big chunks, like you found that
Right.
enormous one.
Right. I just wanted, just for like the sake of tracking and weight and stuff on Beyond, I just wanted to make sure how it was like tracked, because I have like I overwrit the value of some of the tourmaline on my page. So like I have one because like the base cost of tourmaline on D&D Beyond is 100, and then the other values, I found one that was 5 and one that was I don't even know where that one is. I think it was 50 or something.
I want to buy an axe.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly.
Why
I
don't
know
you
you
like?
found like a ton of the stuff.
I think that
I
this.
found 3.
I was just going to say, like, as a suggestion, and you guys can do what you want with this, but as a suggestion, what if we just looked at like the weight of gold and halved it for the time being, and that'll be like our move going forward for what you have for carrying weight, and unless somebody can find the actual specifics, and then we can break it from there.
There's no weight for the gems on Beyond.
But I think isn't there like a general weight for a gemstone?
If you no, if
Hold
you
on,
get it, like if you get enough of them, the website that I sent you, you have to have like a ton of them. But they're also like I don't know how realistic you want to be with it and give each one a weight, but I mean I have one that's worth 5, so it's tiny, and then I have one that's 100, and
Well, why don't we just take it all and just trade it all in for the gold pieces and just carry around the gold pieces instead of the
well
tourmaline?
that
well,
I
so
mean
it
then
says.
that costs like weight. Then you're
Well,
like
so
adding stuff on.
I'm looking at something right here that says money is cumbersome. 50 coins of any currency weigh 1 pound. If a player
Yeah.
starts converting into gems, how much should gems weigh? And they basically say that. Hold on, I'm digging around here.
It'd be more like efficient that way.
Yeah, I'm surprised that there isn't a definitive way to do. I guess what I would say is that like if 50 gold pieces is a pound, then let's say that 50 gold pieces worth of gems is half a pound. And so if you have 100 gold pieces, it would be 1 pound. And if you have one, yeah, and if it's 145, it's a pound and a half. Does that fair until we can find some better math?
Yeah, I think that I don't think it's going to be an issue that comes up tonight. So it's like, yeah, we basically have a pound and a half added to us unless we were like super overburdened, like right there. So I think, yeah, we'll if we want to leave it at that, half weight, and then see what happens if we find anything else.
I'm fine with that. I just like and I mean, if anybody wants to take this on as like, feel free. But if not, I'm happy to go with that.
No, the only reason I bring it up is just that's how I'm recording it in Beyond. So like say that I have this value on my person. Like I didn't know when he said that we're splitting it up evenly. I'm all for that. It's just like who's carrying what. So I was just going to still carry the stuff I got. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no. That I mean, I'm fine with that too if that's how you want to handle it. I think because I mean, let's face it, Daryl's character may be a little like liquid when it comes to when he's there and when he's not. So maybe you're carrying some of like his loot too, just in case it's needed.
I figured. I mean, I would being a halfling, I get over encumbered quickly. I figured everything would go in his pokeball with him.
Oh yeah, I just meant like if you were like, hey Daryl, do you want me to hold on to some cash in case you're pokeballed up and
Hmm.
we need money for something? And I have no doubt that Zahir would be like, that sounds great, let's do it. So that like if you look at what you have currently and you don't know adjust it and it's a little extra fundage, then maybe that's just how we view that, you know. I'm just saying so you don't have to like go back and readjust everything that you've done already.
I gotcha.
Trying to unload because you're getting overburdened.
Yeah, or if you need that, I mean, you could always just be like, so here, hold this, and then he goes boop, and then you've just gotten rid of all that weight as he pokeballed into the thing. TJ, you keep like lighting up. I don't know if you're responding or not, so I didn't want to cut you off.
No.
All right, cool. All right, so we covered that. Anybody else have any other extraneous stuff that you want to touch base on, or sort of do a recap kind of moment, or no?
No, I'm good.
Okay, cool. So you guys are enjoying some libations with Gimbal as he's kind of like as he bought a round. In fact, I think he may have bought a second round for you guys. And this dude stands up, kind of like poshly dressed, almost like somebody would have hailed from like a southern sailing town or something, and starts singing this really kind of like morose and morbid song, and stands up and just sort of like kind of throws his drink on the ground after he finishes it, or throws the vessel on the ground, and then just walks out the door. But as he walks out, you notice these eyes. And what would you guys like to do?
Wyatt started singing another song.
Okay. I have a question. Who was in the Black Blades back in Bryn Shander and was approached with was approached by another dwarf about a task?
Black Blades.
Remember the shop that you guys got a discount at after taking care of the ingots?
Yeah, I remember the story. I don't remember being approached by another dwarf.
Trying to remember who it was, and you know what? It could have been Daryl. But while you were in there, a dwarf approached one of you whose name was Hillen and offered a quest to you. And if nobody can remember that right now, then who cares?
Doesn't ring a bell for me.
It could very well have been that it was Daryl, and because Daryl's not here, so be it. So as this kind of shady figure just walks out, or shady, not that shady, just was very apparent, just sort of throws his cup to the floor and goes to walk outside, Neck, or Kevin of multiple names, starts another song in the din. And what do you do, Kevin?
Let's see. I think, yeah, we'll go with this one. Hold on, I'll throw it for you.
Rainbow in the dark.
Yeah. Just the you know, with these sorts of instruments.
Okay, all right. So you start to do this, and is this something that you are interested in doing a performance check, or is this something that you just start to like hum in response to like the weirdo that just walked out?
No, I had started doing it once he had started singing his song, just to be like, no one cares, jerk.
Okay. I mean, as soon as you start singing some straight up Dio, Gimbal gets right into it, as he is a definitive softcore metal fan, and just like totally gets involved. Kind of like starts like thumping his hand on the table, keeping a beat as you're singing. And okay, so is there anything else that you guys would like to achieve while in Tourmaline tonight, or are you just interested in going to bed? As a suggestion, some things that are always available to you guys are to look around or hear some additional rumors that are around as far as additional things that might be able to be taken care of or done in the 10-town area. You guys could always explore the town some more if you so choose. What would you like to do?
So it's the beginning of the day, correct? Because we only met with.
We're still so I might be wrong with this, but I thought you guys woke up. You guys encountered the Grell. I'm sorry. You guys tried to go to sleep. You were awoken by the Grell attack. Handled the Grell. Went back to sleep. Rested, so you got all your hit points back. Took care of the mine. Had a few like random interactions, and then came back to town. Talked to Oris. Basically said, "Hey, the mine's clear. Also, here are some kobolds that need to come live here." You haggled, got that done. Oris says, "I'm going to go check the mine. I need a day or so to make sure it's clear. I'll come back, and as upon me saying it's clear, I'll come back and pay you what I owe you. And you guys had come to the tavern and were set up in the tavern for tonight, and that's where you're at right now. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
I believe we slept. I could be wrong, but I believe we slept, and then this was the morning because it's definitely that because that's when Novakri got hurt or got the exhaustion was the morning when she woke up, and then we started to figure out what the deal was. Maybe
That's right. That's right.
Her back to Brinchander.
That's right. I thought that was in the mine. I had it confused. Okay, perfect. So yeah, so you guys wake up. I'm gonna say that retcon to that, Nuvakri, you still with like a wisdom check realize that like this burning pain that's in your chest, it starts to recede a bit, and you realize that like as the day presses on, it's probably gonna resolve itself and not be as bad, but it just makes it that much more pressing to make sure that you get this taken care of. Okay.
While we were in the tavern, I would like to talk to Gimbal as what's his face Sefik leaves and ask, hey, what's up with that guy? He seems like kind of a dick.
And Gimbal kind of chuckles and he goes, I think that might be the best way to describe him. He folks don't get too close to that one. He's touched by Oral's hand, it's said. He's also the one that they say is doing Oral's bidding. Are you familiar with the lottery?
I am.
Well, folks like to say
certain places, right?
Yes, in Tourmaline, they use wood, right? They don't do the lottery here. But he's like, I'm not one to tell tales, but folks say that every town that has a lottery, Sefik and the crew he travels with shows up there shortly thereafter, and another murder happens. And these murders, there's a telltale mark left at each. The victim is run through with a blade made of pure ice. Now that's if you believe tales. I'm just telling you what I've heard. I'm not saying anything about the man. I don't know. I don't bear him any ill will. And as long as I'm here in Tourmaline, I don't have to take part in.
Yeah, that's a good call. Now, do you know, has he been here for a long time? Specifically, this time around in Tourmaline?
He's like, as far as I know, I mean, I've only been here briefly myself, just bringing supplies in to bring supplies back out. And so I don't know. Last I heard, there was a death in Brinchander, but it's still another 15, 16 days to the next new moon, and who knows if he'll come. Some say he's doing Oral's bidding. I may have slipped this. Just those murders are people who are said to have dodged the lottery in some way, like pulled their names out of the lottery so they couldn't be picked, or maybe once they were picked, they found a way to bribe someone into putting someone else's name, so it wasn't them that got the axe or got cast out into the ice. And it seems, or at least the talk of the town, the loose tongues say that he's making sure that the scales still swing in the way of Oral's justice. They also say that the snow and the ice don't touch him, and that he was born on Oral's holy day, and that's why he's been touched in such a way. I don't know. That's all I know. I know a lot, but I don't know much. That's how it is.
Yeah, that is quite a bit for not knowing much.
He kind of like touches the side of it.
See what you know about.
He like touches the side of his head and he's like, also, I can't do math. How many beers did I buy? 6 or none? I don't know.
I don't think I got one.
No more.
We need another beer. And he just puts his hand.
So, all right. Okay, so yeah, he's like traveling and stuff. Gimbal. All right.
If anybody wants to give me a intelligence check, I know that I talked to one of you about this in the Black Blades, but if it was Daryl and Daryl's not here, clearly I can't expect.
Jesus Christ, you talked to me in the fucking city hall. That's why I'm asking such specific questions about it.
Oh, all right, awesome. Bingo, bango.
So yeah, okay, interesting. So, hey, quick recap. What's the other town? There's two towns that do human sacrifices, right? Bryn Shander and
I think there's 3. Yeah. Hold on, I gotta go back and look.
not huge. Just kind of like, thought process for maybe finding this guy, because it feels like a little bit more pressing issues.
Yep, it is. Oh shit, where is it? I'll look. I'll get it for you. There's a chart that says it. But yeah, there are 3 towns that perform that.
Because I want to talk to the group and just figure out what we're thinking. I don't know if Novakri. I know that the plan was we'll try and get to Bryn Shander, see if we can get things taken care of for you. I don't know if that's still what the plan is. See if we might want to rent a snow dog out or something.
I'm gonna buy an axe beat.
Yeah. Right.
That's worked out well in the past.
That's gonna be the new trope.
We have the money, so.
Do we discuss how much you need?
I need 100 gold, but I've got
100?
Yeah, for the ritual.
All right.
That is correct. The other thing that I want to say is as that was happening, and if we want to say that it happened last night, if anybody wanted to try and drum up some more information about other stuff and things, I'll allow you guys to do like an investigation check to see if like you guys pick up any. They call them about stuff that's going on in the 10 town area.
What would we?
Yeah, I don't investigate anything.
Yeah, just roll, Kevin. I'm gonna. Yeah, if anybody who wants to, you don't have to. But if you roll an investigation check, just let me know what you get, and I will tell you what you, if anything, discover. All right. So Codswell up with a 5. Your kind of coarse robo manner has just sort of like put people off. Like as you came up and you were like, "Tell me things that are happening, human," and they were like, "No, I'm not going to do that." And they kind of like they didn't really give you anything. Loki with a 16, you have heard that there was an expedition that went exploring up Kelvin's Cairn, which is like the biggest mountain that's sort of like right in the center of everything here in Ten Town, and that has gone that met like an untimely end that nobody's sure what happened to them. But supposedly this exploration party had a number of like riches or like exploratory gear with them that if anyone should find them, that it might really be worth the trip. But there's also the possibility that that's a bunch of bullshit and they met like an untimely end by coming across something they shouldn't, whether it was an avalanche or a snowstorm, some sort of like Arctic menace that or like oral based menace. That's what you pick up. I'm going to say that specifically you kind of recognize that that there seems to be something more to it than just like they had a lot of money with them and they met an untimely end. Also, was it just that there was like a monster or something? Like it feels like there's something being left out from whichever aspect of the story. And so that's Targos is the town that is closest to Kelvin's Cairn or Cairn. And then Kevin and Mike, you guys hear about this you guys hear about this weird story about this like aggressively violent white, like almost alabaster moose that is plaguing the town of Goodmead. No, I'm sorry, Lonelywood. They're plaguing the town of Lonelywood. Um, and this moose is almost like there was a movie. It was back in the '80s, like an old Western movie about like this white buffalo that hunted poachers while they slept, and it like that's kind of the scenario that they're painting for you. That this great beast with like fiery red nostrils that seem to like almost drip with the blood of its victims, while its antlers remain like pure and ice covered, uh, is just like charging around the outskirts of Lonelywood, searching for victims to sacrifice to Um, Oral's like unholy needs.
That's around what one you said?
That is that's Lonelywood. So hang on, I'll pull up the map so that we can kind of like all look at this together. Where's the 10 towns? I think this is the best one. Yeah. Come on, roll 20. There we go. All right, so you guys are currently in Tourmaline. Lonelywood is where they're saying there is the
You didn't move us.
the issue with this moose, and then
Are we supposed to see anything other than Tourmaline?
You didn't move us.
oh shit, sorry. Yeah, I heard you say that, and I was, but I do know what you're talking about. Boop and boop. Better.
Yep.
All right, so Bryn Shander is where you guys started off. Tourmaline is where you headed. That's where you found out that there was that there was the mine issue. Lonelywood over here is where this moose issue is happening. Targos, I misspoke. Targos is where the expedition left from to go explore Kelvin's Cairn. Kelvin's Cairn is this giant mountain that's kind of over here. This map kind of like doesn't do it justice. It's actually like the largest mountain, and it's kind of centrally located here. But there's that, and then just as a recap for some other things that you guys have found, Bremen is the location where Loki, that thing you found in the fish, came from. And I can't remember what I'm just like. What else did you guys have for quests at this point or concepts?
I had the little creature things from the halfling lady. I have completely forgot what the name was.
Yep. And so that's something that you can try to do anywhere. There's a like for a mechanics viewpoint, there's kind of a percentile percentage that could occur.
Okay, I'll try it now.
Okay. Do me a favor and roll a d4. With a 3, you notice as you light the. Are you doing this like in front of everybody in the middle of the hall? Or you kind of step off to the side to do this.
No, I'll do it in front of everybody. I mean, they
Okay.
know I'm in my chest.
So you put a little bit of like oil into the lantern to light it up, and it starts to blow. It starts to burn like a normal like sort of yellowish orange, and then quickly it turns to this almost like greenish black flame. And you remember what you were told when you were given this, that means somewhere within 300 to 400 feet around you, you could potentially be in the vicinity of the Chewing.
Nice. I explained to the crew what this means and kind of little side quests that we go to investigate.
Okay, so do you like you grab like your winter gear and step outside kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. As you come outside, you kind of hold the lantern up, and I imagine you kind of like do like like an alien sweep check, like wow, kind of like point it back and forth, and you realize that like to the left, the light starts to go back towards like this yellowish orange, and then as you kind of swing it to the right out the front door of the tavern that you're in, it starts to get a little bit more not violent, but like the color becomes more radiant or vivid. And as you start to progress forward, you see that it seems to be indicating that this alley that turns right outside of the inn that you're in is where it seems to be beckoning you towards. As you do that, what is everybody else doing? Are you following the person with the green lantern? Are you just staying there to finish your breakfast beers and do other things, or what is everybody else doing?
Yeah, I'll follow the Green Lantern.
Okay.
Hopefully, he'll lead me to like one of the other colors that makes more sense. But yeah,
I need the yellow lantern because I'm going to be Sinestro too. Okay, cool. So yeah, so you guys. So I've got Novakri, I've got Neck. Anybody else going, or are people staying inside?
Go.
They're going back to Bremen or Brenchander, rather.
no, just for now. I think we're tracking down like a thing with a lamp because it was explained that it was like, hey, this means that a certain thing is close. I don't know what it is, so it's like I don't know. I was gonna check and see if I might want to hang back, but for now, that's just what we're doing. Still close.
I'm just following the lantern.
All right. So TJ and Chris. There's no compulsion on your part to have to do this. That's why I'm asking. Do you want to go, or do you want to stay where you're?
To break up the group. They are
Yeah,
such lovely chaps.
Wait, what does Chris look like now? Because he's not a Warforged anymore, right?
Oh no, he's a warforged. He just is talking very differently.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that I can handle that then. If he wasn't him, I would be like, all right, I'm gonna go with the other guys. But
No, he's still definitely a warforged. He just his sort of like attitude and policies have changed greatly in a matter of moments.
all
All
right,
right.
I'll stay. I think I'll stay here with Codswallop.
All right. So I'm going to pause you guys, and I'll come back to you in a sec. As Novakri and Neck come around the like sort of right hand corner of the inn, you see this snowy alleyway with like snow billows and wind drifts on either side, and maybe about 20, 30 feet down there, like this door swings open to I don't want to call it a hovel, but it's like a small kind of like unkempt looking house, and this middle-aged human kind of opens the door and starts like stomping on the ground and just kind of cursing under her voice, and she's just like, I told you, get out of my house. I have no need for you to be here. Leave me.
I approached the lady and asked, say, is there something I can assist with?
Are you any good at getting rid of spirits?
It depends on the spirit, but I'm willing to try.
She's the best.
Fair question. Who might you be, strangers?
Introduce myself. If our reputation precedes us.
I don't read. I don't get the news much. I only watch Fox.
Have you heard about people yelling in the street about the mine?
We have a mine here?
Cool deal. Good talking to you.
I'm just concerned about these spirits in my house. They keep opening doors and sending these dreadful chills throughout my house. They need to leave. Get out.
We'll be more than happy to look at it for you.
She says, good. And if you find some of my cutlery, bring it back. I need it. I have to cut things. I have no knives now.
I assure her we'll bring back whatever cutlery we can retrieve.
Good. What's your name? You seem nice. You look like a Susan. Is your name Susan?
No.
Oh. What is your name?
Akri?
I will call you Susan. Thank you for your help, Susan. And what's your name, little thing?
Oh, I don't even remember.
That happens to me too. Do you need tea? No, you're helping me. Go do things. Goodbye. And she like slams the door. And like some of the snow from like the top of the stoop drops down like pfft. What do you guys do?
Let's go see what she's got brewing. Did she point in a specific direction?
She effectively says that spirits have been opening her windows and sending chills through the house and like knocking over her fineries, whether they be plates or cups, and that stuff and things have gone missing. So like obviously she said her knives or what, at least a knife, and maybe some other things. And I would say that like what do you guys want to do to try to like I don't know, like pick up the trail as it were?
Oh, first thing I'm gonna do is a perception check, see if I can hear.
Okay, give me a perception check.
So close.
So close. So I mean, like you're hearing like the wind is like it's nonstop. Like periodically, like, snow will slump. You hear like neck like just breathing because he's right next to you, and it's kind of hard to concentrate on anything else. And you're kind of like, I think maybe I'm gonna have to get a little more into this than just like like sight, smell, hearing kind of thing. And maybe I'm gonna have to do like an investigation. Give me a wisdom check. Actually, both Neck and Novaku, give me a wisdom check. Oh yeah, shit. So yeah, so maybe Neck, you're kind of like that lady was nice and making. But Novaku, you're like, all right. So she says this lady's annoying, but she says that they were opening windows and sending in chills and drafts. Maybe we should go like check out like some of the windows. And you notice that like along the front of this hovel there's two windows to the left of the door. The house, if you imagine, kind of like a box shape, like the classic triangle. It's kind of leaning in on it. There's that front door that at the stoop that she had opened and was stamping her feet, slams it, snow drops, and then off to these two windows. They're not attached, but there's a sill that runs along between the two of them.
Okay, I'll head around that side of the house and start peeking in the windows and underneath.
All right, give me an investigation check.
Jeez.
You're not really seeing anything. Are you talking to Neck as you're doing this, kind of like giving him the guide, like we should check out the windows, or are you just sort of letting it be?
In character, I'd probably just be absorbed looking for all this stuff.
Okay. All right. Neck, what are you doing in this? You see that like Novakri breaks away from you a little bit, goes over towards these windows along the side of the house, and is kind of like looking around. What are you doing right now?
I'll come up. I actually want to see if I can do like an Arcana check. Just not that I'm good at it, but just to see if I can sense like any sort of magic that might be doing it. See if anyone's just messing with her or something.
All right, give me an Arcana check.
11.
Okay. You don't really feel anything like your connectivity to the arcane isn't giving you anything that is like if you had rolled high enough, I would have let you know. But like right now, you're like with that roll, you're kind of like maybe it's the cold that doesn't dulling your senses, or maybe there's just something. There's nothing here. But because you're kind of standing next to where Novakri, I'll let you give me a inspection check as well. I'm sorry, investigation check.
16.
Yeah. So are you rolling with advantage because you have some?
No, I'm rolling with advantage because it rolls it, but I keep taking the first one.
Okay, cool.
The
Like,
last two
the,
have been
well,
the higher ones.
the fun part is both of those passed the check. But I was just like, I didn't know you had like an innate thing going on. And you notice these footprints along the sill that are just slightly depressed into the snow. It doesn't look like they're so light that you don't even think a bird could have done them. But you see them, and sure enough, like if you nudge, you could see this as well. And they kind of look like the classic bird footprint, like instead of like the three toes and the little thing out on the back, it looks like two toes in front and a tiny one in back. So maybe this is a bird, but as you're looking at it, you see that it looks like these footprints are like all over the place on this sill, and there's a lot of movement or foot traffic. Again, tiny footprint right near where the doors or the window sills or window shutters would open. And what do you guys do?
I'll inform Novakri about this. See if she has any thoughts on what we might be looking for with that information.
Now that he points it out to me, can I see if?
Yeah. As soon as he points it out, you're like you were so close with your roll, it just wasn't. And so you're just like, how did I not see that? Like snow blindness, like what happened? And you're like, this must be what I'm looking for, because I just know that these aren't bird tracks. And as you kind of like hone in, you start to notice that there are little scratch marks on the sides of the window shutters, almost like little hands were like grasping at them. And so, what do you guys want to do?
Try as quiet as I can to follow them. I don't want to spook whatever is there.
So you want to try to track it?
Well, I want to follow the footprints now that I see them.
Okay.
The halfling lady seems to think that they're not really malicious, so I really don't want to spook them.
Yeah, when you had spoken to Danica all the way back at the beginning of the adventure, she was utterly convinced that these were playful spirits, but not actually malignant ones. Like that, you don't even need to roll. That was 100% true. And actually, I think you did a sense. You totally saw that. So I would say if you want to try to follow these things, you're going to need to give me a survival check. But because it was Neck that noticed them, Neck, if you want to give a survival check too, just so there's two rolls, I'll allow. Or you could try to aid, whichever you guys want.
Apparently, I'm apathetic. Effing thing.
Ah, shit. 8. So I wasn't doing either. But I was gonna try and do it. I was gonna try and throw an inspiration your way, but
Do you want to do it kind of hindsight, like the two of you tracks and kind of lose them in the snow? So do you want to try to like inspire Novakri and to try to do a do-over? Or what do you guys want to do?
yeah, I was gonna say it's if I could just like to kind of throw what's it called, the inspiration her way for hers.
Okay.
Because I assume she was kind of doing it, and I'm like, you're amazing.
So I'll do that. And actually, just for shits and gigs, like what is the action to do inspiration? Is it bonus action?
Yes.
So if you want to try to roll to aid on this, I'd allow that too.
All right. Well, I tried, and that was bad.
Well, no, I'm saying no. When you guys both did this, you guys both lost out. I'm saying that like you kind of regroup, you give Navakri some inspiration, and then you're like, oh, I could also like try to look again, kind of thing.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah.
17 to 8.
So what? So Navakri, you get a 3 plus 2. You're at a 5, and
No,
then is it a
that 3
D6 or a D8?
That was my bardic inspiration for him, which
So
is
15 right now.
which is a D6.
Okay.
So yours, you said 17, Kevin.
That was just to aid. So
you have a plus 2. Yeah. So you have a plus 2
So
and a
15.
plus 6.
at the moment, with the inspiration and the whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. So Navakri was in neck.
It's inspiring neck.
I'm sorry. I thought I was. So yeah. So with that, you don't pick up the tracks, but you hear coming from further down that sort of left-hand side of the building that you had gone around, like maybe a little further down or maybe around the bend. You distinctly hear what sounds like the sound of like a plate and a fork and a knife being dragged against each other. Like we've all either seen a child scratch, or been at dinner with somebody that doesn't know manners and is just like, and you hear like neck. You just hear that sound, and it seems to be coming from like further down, just like further down this side of the house. Like it looks like the footprints jumped off the windowsill, went through the snow a ways, started to go around the corner. That's where you lost them. You find them, and from around that corner, you hear this sound. So what do you guys do?
Sounds like cutlery that away.
Yeah, follow the sounds.
All right. You guys come around the corner of the house, and the sounds stop. And all you hear is like the blowing of wind. Give me a perception check, both of you.
7.
All right. This time, it's Navakri who picks it up, and you see this furrow in the snow. The footprints show up again. Maybe the snow was looser, whatever it needed to be, and there's a furrow behind it, almost like whatever these footprints were, dragging something behind it. And they go around the back corner of this house. So if that house is a box, you start in the front, you went to the left side, now you're on the back side of it. And you guys kind of come up on the corner, and what do you do?
Do we see anything just yet?
So you guys are currently like standing at the edge of the left-hand side of the house. So if you think of a square house, you started on the front side of it. The house like is right in front of you with a door and windows. You went left, you followed that left-hand side, and now you're in the back corner. There's kind of an alleyway that keeps going down, and then like another alleyway behind the next house or some buildings or something that you can peer around and look behind. But you haven't looked around. Nobody has said that you did.
I want to make sure that we're quiet. I'm going to try and stealth.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
18.
You peer around the corner of that. You come up super quiet. Like the snow doesn't even scrunch under your feet. Navakri, I feel you're following behind, but whether you're trying to be silent or whether, Neck just kind of pulls ahead for, like 3 or 4 feet and just slowly peers his head around. And you see, Neck, that there's like an old rain barrel turned upside down, or it seems to be turned upside down because the top of it is covered with snow. And on top of it, you see these 3 tiny humanoid figures that they almost look like marionette dolls, except there's no strings. They're clearly animated on their own. And on their faces is this almost like World of Warcraft swirl mark. Like on one of them it's blue, on the other two it's green, and they're all standing around like this cracked dinner plate, and they've set out branches and pine cones as if they're like seats and tableware. And the one who has like the blue swirl is sitting at the edge of the plate and appears to be like fake eating food, like has a fork and a knife and is kind of like sawing food that's not there, and like goes to take a bite and then goes back and saws a little bit and then like offers the other one is sort of like you almost hear like this imperceptible sound, and like it goes back and nods its head and then looks to the other one nods, so it's offer. What do you do?
So they're basically playing house.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
100%. That is one that they're like. I was gonna say they were playing like having a tea party, but yes, they're playing house.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Novakri know that the nightmare fuel is just around the corner.
I will say this. Although that I know that you could take what I just described as nightmarish, you did not feel like horror. Like when the grell came out, you're like, what the fuck is that shit? These things.
But I'm gonna have nightmares about these fucking dolls.
I,
they're alive. Okay, good. All right. Well, fuck.
it's a good luck.
I'll
Okay,
be
go ahead.
singing
Sorry.
horror
I'm sorry.
songs to people.
I'm sorry. I'm just letting you. I'm letting you know. I'm letting you know that you didn't feel threatened by it when you saw it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to come around the corner and just kind of the hands open, try to appear as non-threatening as possible.
As you come around the corner, are you still holding the lantern, or did you leave that behind?
I'm still holding it.
All right. As you come around the corner, the lantern takes like another like shade towards like the more vivid, and the firelight blight like starts to burn even clearer. And the one that is holding the cutlery, like the fork and the knife, looks up at you and starts, and then kind of like stops for a minute. Like it doesn't have a face; it just has a flat kind of oval head with this swirl on it, this blue swirl, and it kind of like cocks its head to a side, and then it puts the cutlery down, looks at you, and then does like the classic like fingers to palm to where your mouth would be, like almost like it's like making the eating symbol, and then kind of cocks its head towards you.
Sure, I'll play along. I'll go up and deal with them at their table.
Okay, so you come up, and again, it's overturned rain barrel that like there's maybe 6 inches of snow on top of it, that the Chewingas are barely putting any pressure on it. The plate itself is what's created like the impression that they're sort of standing right. Some of like the two with green swirls are sort of resting on pine cones, and as you come closer, at first they get a little wary. Blue one kind of like does the like it's okay motion with their hands, and they both sit back down. And the blue one like kind of cocks its head at you, and then reaches back down and takes the fork and knife and like does the whole like cut food motion, and then picks up the fork and like holds the fork towards you as if offering you food. What do you do?
I think I kind of get the idea of what you want me to do. So, I'll reach for the knife, nod thanks to her, or the fork, nod thanks, and
As you reach for it, it kind of like pulls it away because it thinks you're trying to take it, and it kind of shakes its head, and it reaches the back towards you as if like offering the end of it.
like what?
Like like as you go to reach for the, it pulls it away, almost like if you go to like say no, that's not how you're doing it to a child, and the child is like no, and so and as you it like if you stop, it kind of like it looks at you and shakes its head, and then puts the fork back as if like it's offering you a piece of food on the end of the fork.
Okay. I'll. I guess I'll bend down towards it like he's going to place it in my mouth.
And so, okay, and so he kind of like he doesn't stand up, or she doesn't hand up. You can't tell. There's like no sex for these things. It like it leans forward further, like extending the fork, like as long as it can. But it's a small creature, so like the plate is like double its size. So like if you want to get down on its level, you got to kind of like get your face down there. And what do you do?
No, that's fine. I'm going to get as low as I can, so I can. I mean, playing around, playing with them. I mean, I can't. If I'm not going to
Okay,
do that.
so let me ask you this: if it's offering you food, are you gonna like fake accept the food in your mouth? You just cut out. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. As you open your mouth, he or she, they extends the fork just a little bit further, and then it like pulls it away. And as it pulls it away, the two that have green faces like clap their hands. But when they clap their hands, it's super eerie because it doesn't make any sounds. So it's like the softest non-sounding clap you've ever heard. And they kind of like jump up from their pinecone chairs and kind of like do a little jig as that's happening. And the blue one looks at you and nods. And Neck, what are you doing?
I'm around the corner. No, I'm not involved in this. Fuck yourself. I'm dealing with these things, alright? That's why I rolled a stealth check. They don't know I'm there. You can go play with these nightmares.
Okay, all right. And so that's I did not think you would say that, but okay. So
I'm
the
keeping
one
an eye out, but I'm not participating.
I'm watching this and I'm shitting my pants, but I'm not.
My eyes are just like 7 times bigger. I've turned into an anime protagonist because my eyes have gotten so fucking big watching this. Just going like, what the fuck?
So with that, the blue one like puts the knife and the fork down and stands up. And you notice as it stands up that it reaches behind itself and it grabs this. It looks like a cloak that's made of like pieces of ripped cloth and pine needles and bark, and it throws itself around its shoulders, and there's like a little tie on its neck, and it ties its neck, and it bows silently to you, and then it silently claps its hands, and it looks left and it looks right, and as it's looking right, it points left, and the one to the this green one to the left like stands up like obediently and kind of like shakily, like almost like hesitant, looks at you and starts to walk towards you. What do you do, Novakri?
Um, can I put my hand down, like see if he'll step onto my palm?
Sure. So you put your hand out, like palm up kind of thing. Shit, you cut out. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean basically, it's kind of see if he'll step onto my palm.
As soon as you put your palm out that way, this little creature with this sort of like lime green World of Warcraft swirl on its face starts running over your hand and up your arm towards your face. I'll give you one chance. What do you want to do right now?
I'm going to assume that they caught me by surprise, and I'm not able to react.
In that case, it runs up your arm and then sits like a hobbit on the shoulder of an ent and kind of like leans in and puts its head next to you. You feel the tiniest bit of warmth leaning against your head.
Oh, that's cool.
And you have, for sake of the quest that you had, captured a Chewing.
Nice.
Now I'm going to hit pause, and Kevin can shit his pants silently about this, and I'm going to cut back to the inside of the tavern where Loki and Codswallop have been hanging around, maybe having a few beers, maybe talking to Gimbal, maybe just talking to each other. I don't know. What have you guys been doing?
And Zahir's here now.
Oh, and you hear like a slight popping, and all of a sudden the Pokeball explodes, and Zahir goes, "Hey, I'm back!" So Zahir and Gimbal, which is just a random NPC kind of thing, and the rest of you are there. So not the rest of you, and Loki and Codswallop are there. So what are you guys doing?
Enjoy myself buying beers.
Zahir, I would
Admiring
expect
the fine
I
satchel.
honestly would expect nothing.
Yeah, that's all I'm doing. I'm a man of simple tastes.
Nothing sounds like a better plan than, hey, we just woke up. We're probably going to travel through time. Let's get bombed. Totally understand it.
Breakfast beers. We made another chance.
It's called a B&B and BB. Yes. All right. So I know what Zahir's doing. What are Loki and Codswallop doing?
I think I'll join Zahir.
All right. A little breakfast boozing. Cool. Codswallop, what are you doing?
Fortifying ourselves.
I've just made myself comfortable away from most people as I, hold on to the satchel.
Okay. If you're doing that, Codswallop, do me a favor and why don't you take a look in the satchel?
Okay. We'll look in the satchel.
Okay. And so what you see in there is I gotta find it, I'm sorry. It contains clumps of moss, lichen, shrubbery gathered foothills of what looks like a local mountain and the surrounding tundra. None of these samples look particularly valuable, but you feel very possessive of them. However, as you're looking through it, you also notice that there are 3 large stones that Codswallop recognizes as something he needed for a business venture.
That's something he needed for a what?
A business venture that was suggested?
Remember a business venture, but okay.
Flashlight rocks?
Oh, okay.
All right. So that's what you notice in there. So so you're kind of off in the corner doing your own thing. Are you guys planning on doing anything or just waiting for the
What is it like outside? Is it still just
Cold.
blizzard? Just
So there
intense?
isn't so there isn't a blizzard going on right now, but it is the standard windy, cold BS that is Icewind Dale at this point in history.
And there's no real place where people gather or anything like that.
Well, since you guys are in, I forget what the name of it is. Hold on, I just want to look. Point. Since you guys are in the east side right now, this is basically one of 2 places that the fishermen would gather to grab some breakfast or maybe a breakfast beer before they decide to get out there and chase after the fish out on Mare Dualin, and try to bring their catch home and bring food for the town and themselves, kind of thing. And actually, the longer you guys are, the crowd kind of starts to thin out. And although Gimbal is very happy and proud to have had beers with you and talked with you, he's kind of well, I gotta be seeing about getting on the way and getting nice stuff. So he's starting to sort of as well.
I'm trying to figure out a place that there'd be a decent amount of people to set up, I don't know, like 3 cups and a rock?
I mean, I think that like if you wanted to do like a quick like swindle gig, that you could try and get that done with like the folks before they head back out. You may not get that much in response to actual loot, depending upon what you're saying is the buy-in. But I'd allow you to do like a couple rounds of that if you wanted.
Yeah, just a few copper pieces.
Yeah.
5 copper pieces if you can find the ball.
And so like when you first start off, there's like a couple people that are like, "That's too rich for my blood," and then after a little bit, like somebody comes up like, "If I can brave the cold, I can brave you. What about 2 copper pieces?"
2 copper pieces? Sure.
He
It's
says,
all about the
"Let's."
game.
He says, "Let's do it. I feel lucky today, boy."
All right, keep your eye on it.
Like you notice, like this guy's got a lazy eye, so like one eye is like moving back and forth between the cups, and the other one is just moving slowly right, just moving.
I see you're very perceptive.
Yeah, he has an advantage on what you're trying to do.
As if the cup is on the right, he knows where it is every time.
All right, so I kind of switch them around. Do you want like a sleight of hand?
Yeah. So like, how do you see this going? Is this something that it's an opposed check, or is it an opposed check with a bonus because you sleight of hand it, or what do you want to do?
Well, I mean, the game's rigged, and I'm trying to slip the ball out just in time, and
So,
I just
okay.
want to not get caught with that. So
So
if he
let's
catches that, then I'll pay him.
so let's do this. We'll do you'll do a sleight of hand check against his perception check, and if he does not succeed, he loses every time.
Okay.
All right, so I got to go down here and do this. Okay, so do you want to roll first? Or you want me to roll first to know?
Oh, I'll roll. Click. I just clicked it now.
All right, got a 10 coming from you.
Oh, that is horrendous. Yep.
19. He's like like the right eye snaps back for a second. He's like, "I see that hand, boy. Pay up."
All right.
He's like you expect him to get mad. And paid square. You got to be faster next time. And he goes, "I'll tell you what. Call Ralphie over here. He's gonna be the one that you want to get your. Plus, I owe him because he outbeat me yesterday on fish pulling. And you just see him
How
turn.
much
He goes,
does he owe you?
Ralphie, get over here.
Or how
I'm
much do you-
feeling lucky."
How much do you owe him?
He's like, "Tell you what, fleece him for whatever you can. By the way."
Well, if you tell me how much you owe, we can split this.
He you see the kind of like swirls around by itself, almost like he's thinking about things, and then he just goes, "Nah, you keep it, kid. I got enough from the fish. But I'll tell you what, he's not that perceptive. Go get him."
All right.
"Ralphie, get over here. I beat this kid. Can you beat this kid? You beat me. I guess you can beat him." And like you see this sort of like almost like ponderous looking furbolg, like this like hairy kind of, I don't know, wild man kind of thing, and he's sort of like comes over to you. He's all like hands and legs and feet and face and fur everywhere, and he's like, "I'll beat you. What do I do?"
All right, just if you can find this ball bearing under one of these cups, you can win a silver piece. But you have to bet a silver piece in return.
He's like, "Oh, silver piece. And you see that the dude with the eye lean, he goes, "Ralphie, I know you're good for it. I know you're good for it. You can take this kid. I took this kid." And Ralphie's like reaches into like the sort of furry folds of his body, and like you hear like the jingle jangle of like coins, like he's got a pouch somewhere in there, and then he pulls out this one shiny like most overshine piece, and he sets it down, his big finger on top of it, and slides it towards you. It kind of scrapes on the wooden table, and he's like, "Move the cups."
All right, here we go. And then I'll kind of shuffle it up a bit, but I'll take a second and I'll let him look at the cups. And before he makes a choice, uh, can I see if he wants to double down?
Yeah, I'll say you can do that. I'll tell you what. Roll a persuasion check, and I'll just roll a flat d20 in response.
Oh wow, 3 and a 4 is what I rolled on this.
Okay, so I only rolled an 11, but it was enough.
Yeah.
And he's just like, you see him kind of think about it, but he's like, "No, I want to see if I can get my money doubled first." And you kind of hear the guy with the lazy, "Oh, not willing to take a, oh, still a chintzy Ralphie," and like everyone else is sort of like, "Oh, that fucking Ralphie," and yeah.
Lose
So
the
I guess
first
we gotta do a sleight of hand v a perception check. So I'll roll first, so you know you roll for all fairsies. Hold on, let's do this. All right. I mean, there's a chance you could fuck this up, but I don't think you will.
I don't think so.
Just don't shoot your eye out.
All right. And so Ralphie looks super like on top of it. I know what it is. And you even feel like after that whole like, "Do you want to go down?" And he's like, "No." You're like, maybe he's fucking in on this. Maybe like this is a big scam. But he just suddenly like reaches to the left shell, picks it up, and realizes that there's nothing under it, and looks down and sees it stuck in. And I just imagine you, low-key, kind of like reach to that center shell and shake it a little bit, and you hear that like click, clack, click, clack, ball bearings under it, and lift it up. And you just see the guy with the lazy eye just starts crying, laughing. Like, "Maybe you're not too sharp today, Ray. Maybe you ain't going to get no fish neither." And everybody else in the bar is like, "Ah!" And this is probably what they're going to talk about. And you kind of like take the silver piece, and you see Ralphie kind of like, "Oh," as you like slide this pocket. If you want to try to convince him another one, give me a diplomacy or a bluff check, and I'll just roll a straight 20 in regards to it to see if I can beat it. Otherwise, Ralphie's ready to admit defeat currently because he was fully confident in himself. All right. No negative. Oh, actually, wait. I'll.
I rolled a 3, 4, 5, and 6. I think roll 20 is broken.
All right. So I roll. Wait a minute. I just want you to know that there were several fights in the goddamn Bolivia fight, and then the first fight in this campaign when you fought those goblins, where I don't think I rolled above a 5. So roll 20 sucks sometimes. I know. But
Yeah.
in response to your sort of
I'm just surprised that it's like almost in numerical order. It's just right around it's 3 to 6.
It's one of those things where like everybody, like human beings, want to find like patterns or perceivability in randomness. And even though roll 20 is, I've heard from so many people that are like, "This goddamn shit doesn't work." But anyways,
Oh, I'm using it.
I know. Well,
I like this connection to Beyond, but anyway,
because I didn't want to re-roll, or I didn't want to have to change the stats for what I got for my perception check. I just rolled a d20 and I rolled a 5. So you, however you do it, convince Ralphie to go one more. Ralphie's like,
are you trying to break even, or you want to double your money?
Ralphie's like, "Well, and you see the lazy eye guy is like, no, double down, because you win twice and you get 4 times back. And Ralphie's like stops for a minute and he goes, "That makes sense." And so Ralphie this time reaches into another part of his fur and pulls out 1 silver and 10 copper pieces, puts them down and slides them on the table, and he says, "Shuffle those shells.
All right, here we go. I don't
All
think
right.
you can beat it.
I see your sleight of hand. I mean, unless it's a natural 20. If it's a natural 20, I'll give it to him, but that's the only way. Roll that dice. Oh my God. No, it's a -2. And so this time Ralphie watches you, and then like he starts nodding his head and he's like, I got this, and you know that he doesn't have this. And he reaches for that left shell again, picks it up, and he just shows it like right in the face of the lazy-eyed guy. And he's like, look, just like I'm gonna get more fish than you. And the lazy-eyed guy looks at it, looks back at Ralph, and he's like, yeah, I mean, you totally got it, man. I mean, you should totally just look at that and just appreciate it. And Ralphie kind of stops like, and he looks, and you just smile, and this time you pick up the right shell, and there's the ball bearing. And Ralphie's just like, oh! Throws it down, and that shell that he had in his hand breaks. So you're probably gonna have to get a new shell. And then just storms out, and everybody else like claps their leg and is like, ah! And I'm gonna say probably about that time, Novakri and Neck start to make their way back, and we'll be back in shortly. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to try to do before they get back?
I just thoroughly enjoyed that show. That was fantastic.
Daryl, that was a little broken up. It sounded like you said,
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that show. It was fantastic.
All right, awesome, great.
Thank you, Zahir.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, awesome. So yeah, so you make some money off of some of the poorer 10-towners, and sure enough, shortly thereafter, here come your partners, and I'm gonna say Daryl, Codswallop. Codswallop, you're a little absorbed right now. So Daryl and Loki, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, both of you roll high enough to notice that small little humanoid with a glowing green swirl for a face sitting on Novakri's shoulder, kind of like holding on to her like cloak and sort of like clothing, and periodically kind of like rubbing its head against the side of her head. And with that, I'm going to take a quick pause because I need a bathroom break. I will be right back.
Okay.
Been trying to figure out how I can use the floating disc spell to mess with people. Maybe have Codswallow float or something.
That would do.
Yeah.
Well, see if you can get it underneath something like a cup or a bowl or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Some kind of street performance. But then I was thinking, oh yeah, outside's too cold. You could just do this in bars. And it's like, yeah, he's sitting in a bar. That's not as impressive. If he was outside.
Drop him on a table.
Okay. Yeah.
Him up on his bar stool.
I feel like it would be like the Return of the Jedi, like C-3PO being lifted.
I was just thinking the same thing.
I was thinking of trying to like.
Tell them if they don't listen to you, you'll use your powers.
You'll become angry.
Hold on, I've got a ritual I need to cast for a bit.
Now I need telekinesis. That's down the line. It's in our future.
Just
Nice.
splitting into
What
all
powers,
different
Master? I couldn't possibly.
I can see into the future that I'm gonna mess with you with this other wizard thing.
So the best part about that was I came back and no, Master, my powers. I feel like I have at least stimulated some conversation. Awesome. So sure enough, Navakri comes in, everybody's back in the same room, and I think that the plan currently is to head back to Bryn Shander, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
We want to.
All right. So how are you guys going to...
I think the easiest way would be sled dogs.
And also do me a quick favor. Where are we at with quests for you guys? Or quests. So I know that you took care of the first one. You did the foaming mugs. You guys have checked off Tourmaline because you took care of the gem mine there. Navakri, you need to get back to Bryn Shander because of this like Chewinga quest that you clearly have you have found a Chewinga that's now riding with you.
And the chest thing.
It's very own chimichanga.
Chimichanga, yeah. Well, your chest thing isn't really a quest as a thing. We'll just call it a thing. But that being said, anybody else quests or stuff that you have found? Kevin, I know that we talked about what's his face, Caltro there, Cephik. Anybody else have anything at this point? I don't I know you've heard about a monster in Bremen. I know that you've heard about the moose in Lonelywood. I know that you've the missing expedition from Targos, but has there been anything else that you guys were assigned or that you took on? I don't think so, but I want to double check.
I have nothing, but I'd like to go find this mouse.
Mouse?
Yes. You said mouse, didn't you? Mouse?
Moose. Different.
Mouse.
Little bigger. It's a much larger. It's a larger mouse with antlers, kind of thing.
We will get this antlered mouse.
All right, so you guys are going to head back from Tourmaline to Bryn Shander, which I believe was about a 6.5-hour journey along the trail. How are you guys doing that? Are you guys gonna do the walk? Are you guys gonna try, get dark sleds? Are you gonna get axe peaks because that worked out so well the last time?
Teleportation.
I didn't realize second level characters had that, but okay.
I'm thinking that we could all get axe peaks. I mean, we can afford it, but I know Chris is too big for it, or Codswall is too big for them. So I could use the disc I was talking about and just trying to keep resummoning it as a ritual.
Remind me, was that Tensor's disc? Yeah,
the floating disc.
Yeah, so I have used that to great effect in other games to do just that. It effectively is like having a floating sled that as long as you never drop more than, I think it's like 5 feet or 10 feet in sheer drop, you're fine.
It's immobile and it floats 3 feet above the ground, and if it gets more than 20 feet away from me, it catches up. So it's 20 feet behind me.
Yeah, I would say that you probably, so with that in mind, it would take you, even though axe beaks make the travel a little quicker, because you would have to wait for the Codswall tensor disc to catch up to you, because otherwise you'd sprint so far. Well, does it just immediately teleport back to you? Or I'm just thinking if it can move 20 feet, move 50 feet, does it teleport at the end of the round, or does it wait the next round?
It just remains within 20 feet of me, it says.
Okay, no, if that's the case,
it can't cross an elevation change of 10 feet or more.
No, tensors
divots or anything.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to be like, oh, there's a divot in the road. You lose. I just want to. Go ahead, sorry.
The only thing we would need to do is it would take us 7 hours instead of 6. Well, actually, that's depending on the speed of the axe beaks too. So never mind. Maybe
I would.
We did it without the axe beaks last time, right? So I figured this would
be. I'm saying it's if it took us 6 and we were doing that, for the extra time for the 10 minutes for the ritual and stuff, 6 times would be an hour. But if it's not taking
I figured I could cast it on the back of an axe beak. Someone can be the one riding it, and then I can just be on the back and trying to maintain this thing.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I would say as like the DM to sort of like not make you waste allocations. You could
Oh,
cast.
I wouldn't be using it as a spell. I would just need to keep casting it as a ritual. But I'm just trying to do the ritual the entire time.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that if you did that, you could be on an axe beak and you could just summon the tensor's disc next to you and not need an axe beak for it to be on, is what I'm saying. Is so like as you're on the axe beak casting the ritual, Artis is, or Andrus, I'm sorry, is on the disc just floating next to you, being brought along because the disc stays with you.
See, now you guys see scenes of Empire Strikes Back with, C-3PO and everything, or Return of the Jedi, rather, with C-3PO flying through the air. I see Robot Chicken with Green Lantern trying to emasculate Batman by taking him, on a ride.
So, wait, what I wanted to say was periodically, and I'm not going to play this out, but I imagine that periodically, like, Loki either messes up the ritual or forgets he has to recast it. Time has run out, and Codswallop is like, "Meow," and then just like C-3PO and R2D2 sand, but it's not sand, it's snow.
That's what I was hoping that I could just try to constantly concentrate on the ritual to maintain it beyond its means, and not focus on steering the axe beak.
Well, you could always just like tie like one of the axe beaks to the other axe beak, so it just follows the next one as a lead kind of thing. So
Well, I didn't know how much like they held, and if I need all the space. Like I don't know. I'm just
no. So axe beaks are effectively like horses in this environment. All right. So like whatever you would imagine, like so like if your party member died and you still had the horse, nobody would have to ride that horse. You could just like tie a lead to that horse, and it would just ride with the next horse that was going forward. So in that case, like if you have to just stay focused on casting the ritual, as long as there's not like something that happens on the road that either attacks you and makes you make a concentration check or that like abruptly changes everything, then yeah. And so there is this untethered lead of the tensor's disc that Codswallop is following. I actually think that this is a brilliant idea. Like this is awesome.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out a way to so that he can keep up with us, because I remember that we were saying he was too heavy last time.
Yeah, no, so to be honest, there was a little part of me that was hoping you guys would make enough money to buy like 2 axe beaks and then make like a litter or like a I don't know, like a platform, and Artis would just ride like between the 2 axe beaks standing the whole time. But you know what? I like this idea too. Like a floating robot that's constantly on like your 3 or your 9 is pretty badass too. So all right. So you guys figure this out. Figure out what you need for money. I will ask just because I'm the DM, by purchasing these axe beaks and whatever else you need, this still allows Novakri to have the money that she needs, right? Or are you guys strapped again?
No.
If she's buying the thing with just what she got from the mine, she would need to have 5 gold of her own. If she was just using, 50 for the axe beak and then 100 for, what she was doing.
Okay. All right. Novakri, does that work? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I had 51 before we entered here, so I won't say, but I got it.
Figured we had enough either way.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, like there was a real change. It wasn't strong, and I did a lot of random rolling before you guys went into the mine. But I was like, this mine should be treated as like the way to get some funds for getting around. Because the original stats for it, I was like, this is dumb and doesn't work. So I tweaked it a little. But all right. So you guys like you mount up. You sure enough can find like a it's going to take about 6 Brinchander. as you're leaving Tourmaline, I would like. Oops, sorry. Go ahead. No problem. All right, as you're leaving Tourmaline, I would like everybody to give me a perception check.
Crit that bitch.
I am
Damn.
consistent.
Damn, some people were really focusing.
All right, Loki,
Not one of them.
Loki,
No, it was
Darren,
I.
Codswallop, and Novakri all notice on. Yeah, everybody except Kevin, which is really funny for this. Notice that on the outskirts of town around Terminal is a conjunction of like 5 or 6 dragons that on the side have this like hammer symbol, and next to it says Torgs. Torgs. All right. That being said, you guys sort of make haste as fast as you can, and I would like everybody to roll me a d12 and tell me what you get.
A 6.
A1. Hey.
So
One.
you have 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 1.
Okay.
This means something. This is important.
And you guys travel unhindered all the way back to Bryn Shander. And as you kind of like, as you come down here and you round that sort of like, that at this point it's a left-hand turn that kind of turns and heads towards Shander. As you come around that turn and you start looking in the distance, you see those high paths around all of Bryn Shander, and there's almost like a feeling, I can't wait to get back into the comfort of what is effectively the nicest place in all of, and possibly back to I can't remember the north where you guys all first started. And so shortly thereafter, you make it back. You are in Bryn Shander. It is late in the day at this point because with investigations, with Chewinga investigations, with some dice games and whatnot, it's taken some time. So you get back, and it's probably late afternoon, maybe like pushing 5, and you realize that like tradesmen and other people are closing up shop soon. They're all going to be heading back to like some local taverns, whatever. What do you got?
Can I very quickly locate Danica?
Yeah, sure. I would assume that the place that she has said that you could find her, which is where you first found her.
Okay, I head there. Take care of that again. Take
Okay.
care of that before I go get the other stuff done.
Hold on, I just want to check one thing.
That's never a good thing.
All right. You make it back to the North Look, and you're trying to find her. You kind of like start tearing through the bar, trying to like figure out where she's at. And as you're doing that, the Chewinga that's sitting on your shoulder starts like pulling a little closer to you, almost like it's cold, and which is weird because you just went in. But it's like it's acting like it's cold. What do you do?
Would the lantern help?
No. I won't even make you roll. Lantern wouldn't help with this.
Okay, is it cold or does it seem to?
Like it's like it's kind of like, you know, like when like when somebody's cold, they kind of like nestle up against you to try to get some heat from you, and they've got their sort of like long, spindly fingers wrapped around their shoulders, and they're kind of like.
Can I do a medicine check? See if this is normal or
Yeah, you can give me a medicine check. That's fine. $13. It appears cold. Like it's inside, but it looks like it needs to be warmed up somehow. Like maybe like the sudden change, not so much that like the heat of the inside is making it, but just like that change, like almost like, like if you're outside and you come in and you're like some water because I got to do something, and all of a sudden the running water makes me like, oh shit, I got to piss. This coming inside, like it just feels cold.
okay. I guess to kind of tuck it underneath the hood of my cloak or something. Try to see if that'll help warm it up.
Okay, as it does that, I'm sorry, as you do that to it, like it kind of recognizes that, and it scooches closer to your neck, and it kind of like takes its long spindly fingers on both arms and reaches out and just kind of like wraps around, like one touches your cheek and one touches the, and it's a little disconcerting, but it's also kind of cute as this thing is giving you a hug. And as that's happening, Danica kind of appears from like behind. She's like, "Oh, good sir, you're back. Did you find something? Did you have news?"
Yes, and I kind of point to my new friend who I almost don't want to get rid of now.
So Danica, like her jaw, like cartoon kind of bulge out, and she's like, "You found one? How?" And then she notices that it's like it's hugging you, and she's like, "And you befriended it? How did you do this? Like how? I just what? Can I get closer?"
Um, I guess I nod and just tell her to take it slow, try not to startle it.
All right. As she kind of like almost like a kid who sees a puppy and wants to touch it. She like starts to come in fast, and you feel like the chewinga that's on you like grasps you almost like, and like she sees this and she stops and she's like, oh, that's right. And she reaches into like a pouch on her pocket and she pulls out these leaves that they almost look like bay leaves, like that you would use for seasoning. And she says, "You can have these. Do you want these?" And the chewinga, like at first, like you feel like its face like burrowing into your cheek. And I'm doing all of this just so Kevin has nightmares tonight. But like it's burrowing its face into your cheek or like its face plate or whatever, and then it stops because it like almost like it realizes and it looks and it takes the hand that's been holding your cheek and reaches out, and she offers like she reaches down and just to one bay leaf and puts it out like she's reaching out almost like it did like the blue one did with its fork, and it reaches out and takes and like brings it back and it rubs it against its face, and you can't see it but you can feel it, Novakri, and it kind of like it loosens, like it physically like loosens from you and kind of is like it lets out this almost purr sound, and and you get the feeling that like if she were to put its hand out that it would go over and like hang out with her. Do you tell her that, or you're like, "Get away from me, bitch, it hates you"?
No, I nod to her and kind of move my head just a little bit to indicate she can get close to try to see if he'll go to her.
All right, so she puts the other leaf in her pouch and puts her hand out like palm forward, and the thing like at first kind of pulls back and you feel like its fingers almost dig into you again, and then it stops and it loosens, and it does this like purr sound again, and it goes to leap from you, but right before it leaps, it turns around and it starts to climb up your face. What do you do?
I'm assuming it's going for a nuzzle or something, and just kind of accept it.
All right, it climbs up your face and it sits on the bridge of your nose. You have to kind of cross-eye to look at it, which makes it look double. And it is making these motions with its hands, almost as if it's like putting a hand to its chest and like sweeping its hand across and pointing and doing anything, almost as if it's giving a speech. But it's either in a language you can't hear or a language you don't even understand. And as it stops, it takes both hands and puts them on your cheeks and leans forward and puts its like spiral face against like where your unibrow would meet, right at the top of your nose. And I want you to roll me a D8.
I didn't even think of it. Does it understand a language?
Well, you guys have been talking and doing things the whole ride home, and it hasn't really responded to any of it.
No, I mean, meta. Does it have a?
No, it does not. Their language is their language, and it is a language unknown to anyone else.
Well, be able to see with the mind. I can't speak telepathically to it.
Okay.
But
yeah.
The creature must be able to understand a language. Doesn't matter what, but they have to have a concept.
So like and I'm not trying to dick you on this. Like, I think that if you want to try to telepathically emote emotions to it, it might get that. But if you're trying to speak to it, it's going to be confused.
Okay, well, telepathically emote and good luck.
Wait, I'm sorry, telepathically emote. It dropped off. I'm sorry.
Thanks and good luck.
Okay. And as you do that, I want you to roll a D8.
I rolled a 6.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. And as it like turns and does like a spring off your nose, and your nose kind of goes like ba-bong, cartoon style. It bestows upon you something called the charm of the Snowwalker.
Ooh.
This charm has 3 charges. Basically, you have something that's imbued on you right now that you can use 3 times. As an action, you can expend one of the charm's charges to gain the following benefits for 24 hours. You and your allies within 15 feet of you ignore difficult terrain caused by snow or ice. You can see through areas heavily obscured by snow to a distance of 60 feet. You are immune to the effects of extreme cold as described in the DMG, though you gain no protection from cold damage. Once all of these charges have been expended, the charm is gone. But the Chewinga jumps to Danica, and Danica is overjoyed, and because of your great service, actually pays you more than the promised 25 gold pieces and provides to you 50 gold pieces, but does ask for her lantern of tracking to be returned.
Fair enough.
She also says that if you're ever back in Bryn Shander, please come and find my lab. And if I have found more things, or perhaps you can speak with this one again, I will definitely show you, or allow you to see each other. I mean, or if it leaves, it leaves. She's very like sort of flustery, but in no way does she seem like evil or like have like ill intent towards the Chewinga. She just wants to learn about them.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm going to take and split it between the party.
Wow. Okay. I didn't see that coming, but all right.
Well, I mean, they got me back here, so I might as well.
As you go back to the party, your chest explodes and you die. No, I'm kidding.
Be the first.
We're only splitting it 4 ways.
Hey! No. So all right. So you go back and find the party. What does everybody want to do? Or was everybody headed to the North Look because that was kind of like where you knew you could set up shop because that's where you started?
No. I know we were getting here specifically for Novakri, so if there's anything we need to help with for that, if not, then yeah, I think we're heading to the bar.
I'm all for the bar.
Well, you guys can head to the bar. I just need to the temple.
All right. So you guys, the hell was the name of it? I gotta go back and find the map. What was it? House of the Morning Lord. Okay, so you guys all go in the bar. Novakri, I just want to take care of this. Novakri, you go back and you find your way back to the House of the Morning Lord, and you go in, and it's like this big elaborate place, like full of like golden texture, whether it's golden leaf or just paint or whatever it is. And you go in, and there's all these symbologies and iconographies of like the sun and this sort of like beneficent figure, like extending the rays of the sun and healing. And the priest you had spoken to before comes out and looks at you and says, "My daughter, were you capable of finding what you needed so that we might be able to perform this ritual?"
Yes.
Says, I see the evil in you grows. Get out of my church! I will do nothing. No, I'm kidding. So he says, "We will try. Give me a few moments to gather the appropriate things that I need." There is a dais in the center of the chapel, and you notice that, like, rather than like a church, like the classic, like Church of Catholicism, where like there's like the altar and everything up in the front and all the pews. This church, there is like a central dais that all the pews kind of like radiate around, and right in the center of it is this golden bowl. And he says, "Please place your offering in there so that it may be consumed by the Morning Lord."
Okay. That was 100, right?
100. Which is a steal when it comes to what's actually happening, but 100, yes.
Well, considering the fact that it was going to be 400 just to get me through here.
Well, considering the fact that, like, again, when I looked at what Tourmaline had to offer, and I'm like, you might get it, or you might be dead. I was like, let's play the odds a little bit here. But anyways, all right, 100 gold, drop in the pit. The priest comes out. He's got a couple acolytes with you. They bring out this series of blankets and towelries, and they lay them down, and it's like, "Please rest your head and your body here and allow us to perform this ritual." And so do you lay down, or you're like, "Fuck this, I'm taking my money and leaving"?
Oh, I lay down.
I like to give people options. So you lay down, and the priest himself stands sort of directly over you, and the four acolytes that had come out kind of like take the four cardinal positions, north, south, east, west, and they begin this ritual chant. And as they begin this chant, you notice that the priest himself starts to intone this almost like golden hue that vibrates like lighter and lighter and lighter, and it turns to like this almost like shimmering gold visage around him. And finally, like the crescendo of it, what languages do you speak?
Sick.
Let me clarify. Do you speak Celestial?
Yes.
Okay. You hear in like perfect clarity this beseechment to the Morning Lord to suffer you no further evils and to remedy and remove this sort of like this stain that has been cast upon you and is somehow crawling within you. And as it continues to build, you start to feel this pull, like almost like a plunger in a fucking toilet bowl, like kind of pulling out of your chest, and it gets painful. And then all of a sudden, like you see this at the last minute when it's really kind of almost too much to bear, this essence kind of pulls out of you into this black ball, and the priest that's over you takes a hand towards it and sort of like without touching it pushes it towards the bowl that you put the gold in. And as it goes in, you hear this like almost like it was going in water, and this silver flame erupts out of it for a minute, and the whole chapel lightens up, and then everything drops and there's silence. And the priest looks at you and says, "I believe we have cured you. although there may have been some side effects. And I need you to roll me a D100.
If I only had another 6.
Well, I mean, then you would have come back as Satan. It would have been great. No. You feel pretty good, but as you stand up, your left foot feels a little just feels different. Not painful, not sore, not like hurting. It just feels different. What do you do?
Look at it.
So I assume you have like a boot on or something. So you're like going to take your boot off, or like, I mean, you look down, and your boot looks fine.
Yeah. If I've got a cloven hoof, this priest is going to be.
You pull your boot off and you look, and at first your foot looks fine, but then you kind of like flex your foot and flare your toes, and you notice that you have webbed skin between each one of the toes.
Nice.
And then I'm going to cut back to everybody else that's back at the bar. What are you guys doing?
Actually, one more thing, Tom.
Too late. No, what's up?
No, I was going to use this as kind of the bridge into the sorceress aberrant mind at level 4. So this is
okay.
Just the remnants of this other being left something in my soul or mind that awakened this aberrant mentality.
I think that's perfect. I love it. But again, I want to go over everybody. So right now, you guys, after the first quest, the foaming, and I tell you this because when you complete your first 3 quests, you level up. So you guys have completed the Tourmaline Mines. You guys have completed the not the cold one, the Chewinga quest. There's nothing else that you guys have remedied at this point, right? You're still out 1 more, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check. All right. And so Navakri, you have kind of an abnormality now, but you're doing okay. You're back. There's nothing that's gonna insta kill you. I do want to say that out of game you had 20 days to take care of it, and you had made it to, I think it was like day 8. And if for some reason, like maybe you got knocked out, maybe a bunch of things happened, like the shit that you started to experience today or yesterday or whatever it was going to get worse. It would never stack, but you would have really bad days to remind you of it. So good job taking care of your good job taking care of your secret. That's what it was. It was a secret. So all right. So that being said, everybody's back in the bar. What does everybody want to do? And I'm going to say, Novakar, you make your way back, and you're back in the bar too at this point.
I'm pretty much going to go straight to my room. It's been a rough day.
All right. Remember to stay in a room here is like, what was it? It was like 5 copper or something like that. So just remember, deduct that from your wealth. I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with it. What is interesting, however, though, is rather than just asking for a room, as you guys come in, the barkeep, who was named Scramsax, notices you guys and says, oh, please, I'll make sure you have rooms available should you need them. And is anybody else doing anything else?
Yeah. Does everyone want to see if we can make some money doing a big performance tonight? We've got 2 bards and some charismatic people. I feel like
Sure.
Well,
Sure.
In the corner,
Get your bard on.
firing the satchel.
Well, yeah, you do have one guy who's just staring at his bag, but
again, he's the war type mascot that we have.
okay. So if you guys want to do a performance, I would say that you probably have to talk to Scramsax first, to see if you can get his blessing. If you don't want to do that, it's fine. It's just he may be something that adds like a derogative shit. He may be somebody. Sorry about that. He may be somebody that adds like a derogative to the performance because he's not getting a cut or he wasn't. So, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I wanted to check with him first to see if it's even worth doing it and see if he's cool with it.
He says, will you be spinning a tale of your heroics? Will you be telling a tale, an older tale? What is it that you will be doing tonight?
We could obviously tell of our heroics easily. So I mean, if that's the thing that would be maybe more in demand, then yeah.
He goes, he kind of like crosses his arms and thinks for a minute. He goes, I think the people of Brenshander need to know of the good that's happening. I'll tell you what, everyone that comes in tonight, when do you want to be doing this show? At the moment or like later on once we have a crowd?
Oh, we'll wait for a crowd.
He nods. He says, all right, make sure you get your lodge and secures. Make sure you paid up for those. Make sure you get your axe beak stabled and rested. By the way, stabling and resting an axe beak costs 2 copper. Or something like that. But come back to me when you're ready, and I'll make sure there's an announcement. And throughout the night, as people come in, I'll be letting them know you'll be doing a show, at least telling a tale of the heroics of the. And he looks at all of you and he says, of the yous, till you come up with a better name than that. And everybody's sort of like, you're like, fuck yeah, we need like, what are we? Adventure Company? You know, like getting it done right. The sexy strangers. Who are we? We don't know. So he agrees and he says, but I'll ask you this. Normally, anyone who's performing, because I gotta get's mine, I take a 10% cut of whatever you make. However, because you're staying here, because you're drinking here, what if I tell you, instead of 5 copper, your rooms are only 3. And then you don't owe me nothing more.
Sure.
That sounds good.
And he goes, but remember, if you need any adventuring gear of any kind, come to me. I'm always willing to give credit. And you guys all remember back to that scene where the dude came in and he basically walked over and like throttled him and he was like, give me my goddamn money. And you're like, this guy means business.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Big Worm? So yeah. So all right. So you guys prep. Talk amongst yourself. Figure out what you're gonna do. Who's gonna do what? I'm gonna do this as a skill challenge, and I'm not gonna make it a hard skill challenge. I'm just gonna make it a skill challenge, and so we're gonna go. And I'm gonna do. Okay. I have 3 DCs. Basically, here's what's gonna happen. First round, somebody goes. People can aid. Second round, 2 people go. We take the better of the roll. Whoever is not doing it can aid. Third round, 3 people go. We can take the better of the rolls, and anyone not doing something aids. Just tell me what you're doing, be creative, and have fun with it. And when I say have fun with it, if you're in the corner making like fart noises with your armpit, I'm totally fine with it. So Daryl's like, I know what I'm doing every goddamn round.
All right.
So here we go. It has like the night has progressed. The folks of Brenshander have come in. The folks that are going to come in to the Northlook have come in. They're having their potato and leek soup, which I'm not going to lie, actually sounds pretty goddamn good. But they're like eating that the whole night when people are coming in. Scramsax, true to his word, has been like, the heroes of, the local heroes, the folks that just came back from Tourmaline and took care of the mine, and the folks that were helping out the battle hammers and those weirdos. Yeah, they're gonna do a thing. And people are like, oh, I want to see a thing. I haven't seen a thing in a bit. All right, well, I mean, we're here and there's a fireplace, so let's do this. And so people are hanging around. Go ahead and tell me what happens in the first round. The first person who's doing something. The first person who's doing something. Tell me what you're doing, and then give me a roll. and then anyone who wants to aid, tell me what you're doing to aid.
I'll go up first. I'll be a hype man and set the stage. I'll be the Flavor Flav,
Hype guy.
the hype man. Well, friends, good people of this town, enjoying your leek soup. Prepare to enjoy an amazing performance by me and my friends. We'll spin you a tale of hope and joy. Take your mind off your troubles. We'll have a good time and enjoy ourselves. Are you guys ready? Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Exactly.
Does anybody want to aid in this, or just let them make the roll?
Can I do a persuasion check? Can I persuade them to
You can
enjoy
make a
our show?
persuasion check, but before you make that roll, let me see if anyone's going to aid you, and tell me what you're doing to aid.
I'm on my own.
So yeah, I will. I don't know. Just the way he's going in there, it's like I want to aid, but I don't know how I would be aiding there.
You can give me some dramatic music as I hit my points.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll give you a like an intro thing. Like we're not jumping into it, but you'll have some background music.
All right, cool. So we've got one person aiding with intro music. Give me a D20 roll. Tell me what you get.
All right, let's see what we get. Persuasion.
No, hold on. Wait, Daryl, not you yet.
Okay.
Kevin's
gotcha.
aiding. So Kevin, give me a D20 roll. Tell me what you get.
Just a D20, or am I making a check?
Well, you said you're playing music, so like a performance check, I would think.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, so dirty 20.
Holy shit! All right, so that's a +4. Normally a +2 on a success, but a natural 20. Wait, a dirty 20 you said, or a natural 20?
Dirty.
Oh shit! All right, it's just a +2. All right. Is anybody else going to do anything to help Daryl with this sort of like, let's get ready to rumble speech?
Okay.
No? Okay. So Daryl, give me what are you trying to do to the crowd? Are you doing a performance check?
I'm persuading to enjoy the show.
Okay, so a persuasion check +2 plus whatever your modifier is.
So 14.
14 total.
Yeah.
Makes the initial check, and you notice that enough people in the crowd are like, well, yeah, we should check this out. Oh, man, something that's not just eating leek and potato soup? Oh, I'm in. All right, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, all right. And, you notice, a couple old guys that look like, I don't know, Muppets called Waldorf and Statler, like, I bet this is going to suck. And somebody else is like, shut up. And they're like, all right, well, we'll watch it, whatever. And so, all right, round 1. Round 2, beginning of the performance, beginning in the middle of the performance, what and who does what?
I think the performance is going to mostly have to be Novakri and I.
I'm in my room resting.
So it's just
Sounds
you
like
guys.
it's gonna be all neck tonight.
I'll be there.
I'll assist Nick.
All right. So first question is, Nick, what are you gonna do for beginning of this performance? What is your plan?
I think I'm gonna start off with just a nice, just playing a song on the flute, and getting everyone into that with everything that we're doing, and then I'm gonna jump into the tale of us going into the dark mines, facing what everyone thought was the enemy, but finding the true monster, and describing the fight with the Grek.
I feel that what you should everything except you should save the fight with the Grell for the crescendo. So
oh, okay, so yeah. So for the third one, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be that whole thing and everything to that effect.
All right, awesome. So you start in. So I'm sorry. You start in with some melodic flute playing, and then transition into telling the tale of traveling to Tourmaline, facing crag cats that deceive you into thinking they were people, at like in need. The loss of poor unnamed fucking Axpeak that I can't remember her name right now. I'm sorry. Lass, we knew you so well. Getting to Tourmaline, dealing with that, and plunging into the darkness of the mines. And then, TJ, you said you were going to aid in this. TJ, how are you aiding?
Casting minor illusion.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. And so, like, as Neck is telling this story, like periodically, like images start to swell and show up in front of the crowd, and like people are like before I say what they're doing, but people are like taking notice as these like sort of these ghostly images of what you're talking about start to show up and sort of dissipate and move. And even Stadler and Waldorf maybe are interested, but I'm going to need a performance check. So first, TJ, because you're aiding right now. Wait. Is anybody else aiding? Is anybody else doing it?
No, I'm completely enthralled with what I see. I'm going to hold on to my statue really, really
Bad
tight
Boy's by himself.
and just watch
Novacri's
in
the room.
mesmerizing fashion.
Wait. All right. Daryl, are you doing anything else, or are you just sitting back, biding your time?
Oh, I'm clapping along.
In fairness to Novacri's, I've got 2 exhaustion, so I'm disadvantaged on all ability checks.
Listen, I'm not saying that you're not making the right choice. I just would have appreciated somebody making negative checks. That's all. That's all I'm saying. But
contributing
anyway,
by not contributing.
I'm contributing by not. Okay, so that being said, so Zakir is like, as you like make a succinct point or you do whatever, or you're just like, and then we defeated the Crag Cats and we pulled Novacri's away before their claws could rend her flesh. And people, and like, before anybody can do anything, Daryl's like,
oh no,
clapping, whatever, like getting it, like this. He's
testify.
He's prepping the crowd. He's prepping the crowd. So in order to see how this goes, Daryl and TJ, give me, depending upon what you're doing. So I think you guys are doing persuasion. Are you okay with that?
Yeah,
like a persuasion check?
Yeah.
Like Daryl, I feel persuasion, but like TJ, are you okay with a persuasion
24.
check?
Could I do performance?
Yeah, I'd allow that because casting a spell and making it happen.
I just did 24.
Oh no, I heard. Was it a natural 20 or is it total?
No, it was a natural 19.
So close. All right, so that's a +2.
Shit.
And then TJ, that doesn't sound good. What happened?
11.
11. That's still a +2. It's over a 10. 10 is what aids. So +2. All right, so Kevin, you're about to do a performance check. You have a +4 to this.
Ooh, so 24.
Totally makes it. All right. You have passed the second of these performance checks. Now, I will say this, that with the DCs that I've set, they're relatively low, and there is definitively the possibility you're going to crush all of this tonight. But as you go up in level, these DCs may grow with you, much the same as like, other games that we played with. The more renown that you have, the more sort of like difficult it is to do this, but you'll get bonuses that go along with it. So, all right, it is the last round of this performance check. The crowd is like in full, like just sort of like, and then what happened? Tell us. And like they're just
that's just me.
Well, I mean, you're amazing in your own right, Bad Boy. But that being said,
no, I'm in the crowd going, "What happened next? What happened next?"
He failed his intelligence.
You know what? I'm going to retcon that and say you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. So, people who are doing this performance, though, that are in this room. So we have Daryl, we have TJ, and we have Kevin. What are you guys doing for this third round? Kevin, tell me what you're doing, and then so that the others may be able to assist in some way. I assume it's something about the defeat of the Grell. Sorry, go ahead.
I was hoping to make the sound of the Grell, like the I don't think it screeched when we killed it, but I still wanted to, like, when he says like it topples over, I just do like the Grell sound.
The Grell death. Wait. The Grell death knell. If that's not a thing, somebody needs to make that happen. So I'm not gonna make you a check to be able to do it, but like I love this idea. So that will be what you're gonna try to aid with.
Okay.
Daryl, what are you gonna try to aid with? And wait, before we do anything else, Kevin, this is the plan, right? That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna do before
Like
all this.
I was actually hoping to be like playing off of everything and like working with Loki. I assume at this point we kind of like have that where like I'll be talking about like from the darkness, as we slept, the the creature of the cave of the mine grabbed us in the night and have like the illusion of like a tentacle like grabbing my arm and like,
No. I love all of this.
and like
I like
going
honestly.
with that and then eventually leading up to the fight and the death and all of that, me interacting with
Yeah. Oh, yes.
the,
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So TJ gave me a very specific
oh yeah,
moment.
and that would be
But I'm
great.
very much of a
Oh, we're
like
still at
in the,
part 2.
no.
No, just
Like
the whole crescendo of 3.
I think yeah. We're so you moved.
The
So
fight
you
and then the
succeeded.
death
You
and
succeeded
everything with the
one.
grill.
You succeeded 2. You're in the third part of the skill check. And TJ, you specifically talked about like the Grell death knell kind of thing, and I loved it. But I wasn't going to take away like Kevin. If your idea is that like throughout this, as you continue to tell this tale, that TJ's like minor illusions and whatnot are continuing to aid, I have no problem with that. The only thing to know is that like if TJ fails, the illusions aren't going to give you that benefit, and like the crowd's going to be like, "What happened to the pictures? I thought this was like a picture show kind of thing." But
I just roll off of it.
yeah, but I mean, but again, it doesn't mean that you would fail. It just means you wouldn't get that. All right. So as that's happening, Daryl, is this when you start to bust out armpit noises, or like?
Actually, I was going to interact with the illusions and be the Grell or the person fighting, or actually interact with them and perform the fight.
You know what? I love this idea. I think this is amazing, and I think that you guys are like putting on like a puppet theater, like in real size. That
Mhm.
that the people of Bryn Shander are just like, holy shit! This is like when the first time we went and watched Avatar. This is like when we saw Matrix for the first time. This is amazing. Also, I'm the keymaster. So, so in that case, I'm gonna need.
Yeah,
So
I couldn't even
wait,
figure
wait.
it out.
So
Why is he the keymaster if he keeps getting locked out?
hold on. I'm the keymaster because I'm the keymaster of this game. Not that guy in that movie. I don't want to talk about it. But anyways, so all right. So this time around, in order to support Daryl, what are you thinking is your check?
Performance?
All right. So roll a performance check. Tell me what we get.
12.
12 is that's enough. It's above a 10. So plus 2.
Mhm.
All right, TJ, are you doing a persuasion? What are you doing?
Would you allow like a deception at all for like convincing them that like the monster's there or something like that?
I'm not gonna say that. I don't think deception.
Well,
You're telling the
performance.
actual story. Like you're showing images that are actually there. I know because that's going to
Sure.
give you a better benefit. But I would say that like a persuasion check, because like you're persuading them to get involved in the show. Performance by what you're doing. Even just like a straight up charisma check to be like just get empathic about it kind of thing. So what do you want to do?
Okay. Was performance on there or no?
Yeah, you could do a performance check. Yeah,
All
or a
right,
performance
do
aid.
that again.
All right, what do you
Oh,
got?
that's a nat 20.
That's
That'll
a
do.
+4. Holy shit. Okay, so Kevin, you have a +6 to this final round. If you want to describe it, if you want to just roll it, that's fine. But what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm basically describing, I'm thinking that Daryl was kind of pretending to be asleep, and suddenly he was attacked, and he gets pulled away, and the group fights, and I kind of jump in as though I'm helping, and But at the end, the monster was slain, and that's when Daryl delivers the quote unquote death blow to this thing, and
I wanted to be the Grell.
unleash the Grell's death knell, and just
And as that happens, like depending upon your role, the crowd goes.
Mild.
What did you
oh
get?
Jesus Christ! That was the second one. So only a 16.
Wait, total?
Yeah.
Ah, so you roll a 16, and like 3/4 of the crowd is like, ah! And you notice that like the two old fucks that look like Statler and Waldorf are just like, man, I've heard better. They could have done better. I mean, like they could have like made it like a fricassee or something, or maybe whatever. And other people are like, yeah, those guys make sense. And so it's at that point that like Scramsax is like, if you've enjoyed tonight's entertainment, we are passing a cup around because that's pay these assholes for doing the shit that they do. And as that happens, a cup goes around. And what I would like you to do is 1, 2, 2, 2. Okay. Do me a favor and roll a D100. Tell me what you get. Kevin, roll a D100. I'm sorry.
Okay, I am unmuted. 84.
Okay. And you guys get for tonight's performance 1 gold and 6 copper pieces, 6 silver pieces total.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I mean, like, so most of it's like copper or silver, but it totals out to 1 gold and 6 silver.
That'll do.
All right. And with that, it is 1:45, and I know that we normally break around 11:30 or midnight. The one question I have for you guys is there, and Novakri, Mike, please feel free to weigh in on this. Is there somewhere that you guys feel compelled to head to next? Or is there like, or are you guys just, you have no idea at this point?
No, I'm sorry. I think there are some plans. I'm gonna let everyone know that that dude with the blue eyes that we saw in Tourmaline, there is something he is wanted, but I didn't want to get everyone worried about it at the time where I thought had a more pressing matter with Novakri. But that guy is someone who I believe, 100 gold is out for him. So if we
That sounds good.
to go there, there's also Lonelywood has the and as we can see now on the map, Lonelywood is right down from Tourmaline.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, I just
So I've heard some people say Tourmaline. I've heard other people say Tourmaline. I keep saying Tourmaline because there's an A in there. That's all. But.
Yeah, I don't understand how you get lean out of L-A-I-N-E.
Wait, how do you get Worcester or Gloucester or Fall River? I mean, it's just
that's if you can't read. So Boston.
Haverhill, Bill Ricka, take it back. We can keep going.
Right.
Worcester.
It's just like, hey, we can't read.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie.
Worcester.
My favorite part about being from Massachusetts is to know that the town called Peabody is said Peabody. Like anybody who does not say that town that way, I'm sorry, but that's just my way. So, anyways, all right.
Hey, Peabody, I say, where's Mr. Sherman?
Peabody. It's so fast. It's so fun. It's great. But anyways, all right. So Lonelywood, yes. Moose. What else? Or what else do you guys want to do?
I like tracking that guy down. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
So you guys know that there is a reward for this guy Caltro, but that he travels with this this like what's the word? Like a trading group that is all around. Caravan, thank you. And what's particularly interesting about that is because everybody rolled so high, you know that caravan is the caravan that you guys saw outside of Tourmaline as you left. I believe it was Targos was the name of it, or something along those lines. No, not Targos. That's the town.
I was gonna say, probably not that.
Shut up! Shut up! I know. Shut up! But
in Targos, everything is like the Smurf village. Everything's just named Targos.
Everything in Targos.
Two Targos and a Targos.
Are you gonna Targos that Targos? Good, because we're gonna Targos.
Oh, Targos, you.
Torgs. Torgs was the name of it. Torg. I knew I was close. All right, Torgs. But so Torgs is like a trading company, a dwarven trading company that travels around. And I won't make you roll for it, but you know that Caltro is basically like hired muscle that travels around with them. So on this map, there's a moose problem right here. You know that here, that was the last spot that you saw Caltro, which you know that there's a bounty on his head. Targos is where you guys know that a party went missing from. That the party that went to Kelvin's cairn. Here, in Bremen, you guys have heard that there was a problem with a lake monster in Mare Dualen. I feel like you probably know one more as well, but I'm not sure. So, unless you can tell me that you know more.
There was the Bremen fish ring thing. I don't know if that's anything for that, but that was one that was mentioned.
Yeah, you know that the ring that you found came from Bremen, or has like some whole family there. I'm just.
My compatriots, I believe that anything except for Kelvin's cairn is a great idea.
And I just imagine everybody kind of turns and looks and is like, "What's going on with the fucking robot? That's weird." But
because
all right,
he thinks Kelvin's cairn is a super great idea.
Oh no, we can't do Calvin's cairn. That's not even in the question. These other ones are so much more important. We have to pick one of those.
All right. So what I'm going to say is nobody has to pick right now, but what I would love for you guys to do is pick before we start next week, so I don't have to prepare 14 fucking adventures. So
Perfect.
if you guys could, or you guys can roll for investigations right now, and I'll tell you even more quests, and then you can pick one of those too. So what do you guys want to do?
The moose or the blue-eyed guy? That sounds pretty good.
I like
it
the
too.
blue-eyed guy.
All right, the only question I have with that is, how we're going to deal with it, because if he's currently dealing as hired muscle for the caravan company, how are we going to have to deal with the caravan company?
Sacrifice an axe-beak.
No. I'm saying longer-term repercussions, potentially. I don't know how strong the, Torg group?
Yep.
So I don't know if that's going to be like something just like the what's it called, the other dwarves that like us, that sort of like outreach.
Battlehammer.
Yeah. So it's that sort of thing. That would be kind of a wave, as opposed to maybe finding him off guard at some point.
Oh, you mean like when he staggered out of and then didn't do anything about? Oh!
Yeah. He had a pressing concern of someone who, I don't know, might have been dying with the crystal in her chest. Iron Man 2 plot.
We'll get him next time.
All right, cool. So I'll tell you what. So you guys,
investigation real quick.
you want to roll an investigation? What are you rolling an investigation check for?
Oh, I thought you had said that to see if there were quests.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Anybody who wants to do it, please do. Nobody.
No, that's a 2. So
Anybody else wants to roll an investigation check?
Let me check it out.
I roll.
Nope. There's nothing else to do in this town, obviously.
No.
Jesus Christ.
That's 2 nat 20s now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We know everything happening.
Yeah, hold on, Daryl. Wait, Daryl. What was your check? I didn't hear what it was. I'm sorry.
A 7.
7. Yeah, you're like, oh my god, those people are talking about stuff, and you get close and they're like, have you heard about pizza? Pizza's amazing, and then you're like, I came from a place that had pizza, and it is fucking amazing, and they're like, oh my god, that's right, pizza's amazing, and like you just get sucked in. Anybody else? Investigation check.
So we have 2 criticals from Codswallop and Loki with a 21 and a 23.
With that, Codswallop, you know that Caer Koenig, the closest place to Calvin's cairn, has been plagued by a number of petty thefts. And
I am not sharing that information with anybody.
And what the other one was Loki? It was Loki, correct? Sorry. Yes. And Loki, you know that, where is it? The town of Dugan's Hole, which is another super remote, super sort of like out of the way place, has recently been plagued by a pair of giant winter wolves.
Ooh.
And although they're causing problems to the local populace, 2 local youths have also gone missing.
What's a U?
What?
It's a Y-U-T, otherwise spelled Y-O-U-T-H, but Ute, yeah. All right, and so with that knowledge, what I'm going to say is this, as we approach even closer to the midnight hour. Everybody talk amongst yourselves. Figure out where you want to go next week and let me know by, say, I don't know, Wednesday, if not sooner, so I can prep. And then we'll do that. Sound good?
I'm down for the wolves.
My vote is still for either the Blue-Eyed Man or the Moose.
Also,
I was leaning towards the moose because I think that's more of like we'll just track that thing down and take it out.
That would be lovely.
Also,
Sounds good to me.
I just want to put this out there. Tonight has been a lot of fun. Kevin, I'm sorry if I gave you nightmares. And I have forced back the need to do something like negative the whole time that Mike was interacting with the Chewingas, because like if the Chewingas were evil in any way, I would have stabbed him in the throat with a fork at the very beginning of that interaction. But they're not. They are childish, childlike, and curious. So I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it in good conscience. I wanted to. But
I mean, if they were children of the corn childish, then yeah, you could have.
Yeah, no. Like, they're not evil, though. They're not like stabby, kill. They're just like, do you want to have the thing that I'm making right now, which is a fake food because that's what humans do, kind of thing? So.
Yeah, I did kind of want to be ready to just like unleash a crossbow bolt, but I didn't want to interrupt what was going on.
Well, there were a number of moments where I was like, and then, because I'm like, if somebody's going to attack, a different outcome comes with this, but let's see. And everybody held their shit together, because I'm not going to lie. If I was a player and the DM was like, they extend the fork, and you're like, and you're expected to open your mouth, and they extend it quickly towards your mouth, or it climbs off your shoulders and grabs your face, I'd be like, I throw it on the ground. I just fucking throw it on the ground because no. So, good job, everybody. That was that. Like, I don't know if they mean for these things to test you, but I wanted to make these test you. So, good job. That was well played.
Well, I mean,
Awesome work as always, man.
very, very adamant that they were not harmful.
Yeah, well, I mean, so what are the chances that like the one bad egg that's out there is the one you found first? You know, you're just like, no, these things are totally fine. As it's like gouging your eye out. No, I swear it's fine. And you're blinking with that one eye that's gouged out. But anyways,
It's merely
right.
a flesh wound.
Well, I can still see it. I can't see it all now.
It's but a scratch.
Can I shoot it yet? No? You still think it's good? All right. I don't have that many heals.
All right.
Cool.
Good stuff, guys. Good stuff.
Awesome job as always, man.
Shoot, you know what? To make it fair, if you guys don't want to talk with each other, shoot me what your vote is for like the next place you'll head to during the week. But if you want to chat with each other and then as a group voice say it, then I'm fine with that too. So let me know. I hope you guys have fun, and actually, you know what? Next week is Christmas Eve is Thursday, correct? I'm right on that, right?
Christmas Eve.
Okay, so I don't know what you guys are dealing with like the holidays and family and whatnot right now, but because of the sort of lockdown between states, I am trapped in Maine. Don't really have the opportunity to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas Day with my parents, and so my plan right now is that I'm actually waking up really early on Christmas morning, and I'm driving down, and I'm going to do a present swap with my mom at my mom's house, and for the stuff that, you know, like my wife and I have gotten, and to give to them and come back up, and then we're going to do like for my daughter, like a Zoom Christmas morning kind of thing.
Nice.
And so she's not even 2 yet, so like she's not really going to get it, but she's going to like for my own sanity, it makes sense, and we're going to have fun with it. But with regards to Christmas Eve, that means that like all of the normal shit that I do on Christmas Eve is totally thrown off. And my daughter usually goes to sleep around somewhere between 7:30 and 9, which is why I was a little late tonight. But that's is what it is. So if people would like to do something fun because they don't or they can't meet up with family, I am very happy with like having a thing available that we can all log into and have a good time. Nothing crazy, nothing over the top, like whatever, just a good time. If you want to do that, let me know during this week, and we can do this. And it won't be this sort of like a quest or platform that we're playing on. It'll just be something fun I put together through the week. But if nobody can meet, then I hope everybody has like a super great holiday, and we'll pick up again after this coming Thursday.
Yeah, I don't think that I'll be able to. I because like you said, with the lockdown and everything and what have you, it's just the three of us. So
You know, you could do a really scary one for Kevin.
I'm not gonna lie, like my thoughts were doing a like Call of Cthulhu Christmas. That's what I was gonna do.
Well, or
So-
the Call of Chewinga.
Yeah, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, you guys will face the evil Chewinga. Yes, but anyways, but like if anybody's interested in doing that for this Thursday, not only let me know what you want to go to next for the Icewind Dale adventure, but also let me know if you're available for this Thursday, and I'm very happy to do this. And also, Kevin, just so you know, my plan is that after I do the like zero contact customer swap with my parents on Christmas morning, I'm going to swing by your house and drop off the pirate flag for you. Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
And so with that being said, thanks for playing, guys. I hope you're still having fun. I hope you're having a good time with this.
Oh, you're the best, man.
And also, Daryl hosted a trivia contest for me and some family this past weekend, and it was awesome. So if
Have a good time, man. Awesome.
yeah,
Thanks.
so if anybody's looking for a way to do like a socially distant but like connective event, please reach out to him to do it. He did a great job, and
You guys are awesome.
Dude,
Who was the guy who looks like Stephen Hayes? Was that your dad?
I'm gonna lie. The only thing that sucked about the whole event was that I was sitting there with like my wife and almost 2-year-old, and I couldn't have beers during it because I wait until my kids asleep to have beers. So that was the only thing that sucked about it. Everything else,
That would have enhanced.
awesome. But so
You guys are
have a great
fantastic.
night, and let me know about next point for this, but also Thursday, and we'll talk later. All right.
Sounds good. I'm crashing too, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
I'm heading out too.
Thank you. Later, guys.
See you guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, right? Merry Christmas. If we don't see you.